Okay.
Okay, but you can continue. So sorry.
Yes. Before the two slang prison chef involved the tutor.
Okay, teacher.
Oh.
Okay, please.
Now, my turn.
No. You can finish that slide. Okay.
Yes.
I will start continue after slide.
It was the two slang prison chef involved in the tutor and killed of more than 12,000 people who is stood. Okay, next slide, teacher.
Okay, this point for me.
Okay.
Thank you, teacher Sadat. Okay. This point talk about the family. Yes. Dutch original name Kang Kach Il, and he was born on November 17, 1942 in Poway Village, Piêm Bang Commune, Stone District, Kampong Thom Province. Kang Kach Il is of Chinese descent and has 5 siblings. Dutch is the eldest son in a poor peasant family. Yes, move the other slide, teacher. So this point talk about study, and this point for teacher Cheng Ho, she will be presentation about this point.
Okay.
Hello, teacher Cheng Ho. Start.
Yeah, hello, teacher. Yes. I responsible number 2 study. The first I respect to teacher and good afternoon all classmates. Study. He was late for school at the age of 9 because he was a good student, full of the reverence and deep respect. For teacher, he completed his study at Kampong Thom Secondary School in Siem Reap High School, and then at Siswat High School in Phnom Penh. He received his high school diploma in 1964. According to Professor David Chandler, in this book, Voice from S21 Can Good Ill Mother, in the 1980, said that the friend of his son is away in the book. Those later attend Siswat High School with the help of the influential person in the national bankruptcy competition in 1956. Can Goodyear finished second in mathematics. One of Can Goodyear classmates recalled that in those days, Can Goodyear was a young man who adhered to diligence without feeling anything for entertainment or political issue at all. Finish, teacher.
Okay, this point for Miss Naya. Please presentation point.
Good afternoon, teacher, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm responsible for positions. Two or 3 years later, King of Il took up a career as a math teacher at Kampong Thom High School. One of King of Il alumni later recall King of Il is recognized for his accuracy in teaching. It is as if he were copying an entire text for his brain into a blackboard. one of the colleagues who also works as a biology teacher at the high school was one of the tallest people. Mam Nai called Chan during the next few years when the two men became a member of Communist Party of Cambodia. King of Il called Mam Nai to be a hand of the intelligence unit at the prison of S-21. King of Il and Mam Nai are known through the human, the left behind teacher who are qualified, wise, determined, and dedicated totally on the job. These are the two characteristics that you both carry with you and solve different goals when you both work together in prison. Next slide, teacher. In 1964, Kang Il took a position at the Pedagogical Institute after Son Sen left. According to Mr. Net Bon On, a classmate of King of Il at Preh Sisawat High School, a talented young man, this mathematics was drawn toward communists by a group of students who came to study Khmer literature at Phnom Penh University. At King of Il University, he was fascinated and educated by young men and women who were rich in idea and interest. Pay close attention to communist influence. King of Il sees that those young men and women will play an important role in Cambodian China relations during the regime democratic Cambodia will continue from this regime. In 1935, Dodge was appointed as a teacher of mathematics at Gone Secondary School. After leaving the Pedagogical Institute, his students described him a loyal, persistent, and always helpful to needy students. He instructed and test one of his students, Ki Sok-hee, to join the revolution and was later arrested by the workers. They had no police across him to being a communist. King of Il was detained without jail for several months. A normal processor for political prisoner is the generation. However, he successfully found the way to get out of prison through the intervention of his guardian as a child. Shortly after Sihanouk was overthrown, King of Il Alice Dodge fell into the magic forest. Finish for my point.
Thank you, Miss Nayak. So this point for Miss David. Hello, David.
Yes.
Yes.
So first of all, I would like to pay my respect to teacher and classmates. So this is for my point. It is about political movements. And it is also about joining the Communist Party. While while studying in Phnom Penh, Kang Kek-yew is a poor kid in the Kang Kek-yew is live in the poor family, and he was found that the gap between the poor and the rich people. And at that time, Kang Kek-yew also loved the Communist Party. Moreover, when he was studying at a pedagogical institution, he met an important communist called Son Sen, who was then the director of institute, became the Minister of Defense of the Khmer Rouge regime. In 1967, while working as a teacher in Kampong Thom, Can Gik Yew joined the Communist Party of Cambodia and became acquainted with the flag of Sen Hun, came to the Dutch assistance and at those line prisons. In the same year, Can Gik Yew was arrested by police from the Sangkum Rihayom government and taken to Freisau prison in Phnom Penh. In prison, Can Gik Yew met Mom Nai, also known as Jan, who later became Dutch deputy director at those line. The next, please, teacher. In 1970, after his release from prison, Can Gik Yew fled to join the Khmer Rouge in the jungle. Along the Cardamom mountain range, Can Gik Yew started using the revolutionary name Dutch and was appointed one way as the head of the prison with the code 13. Omliang Commune, Kampong Speu province. Dutch later set up another prison with the code 99 at the foot of the Aral Mountains. Although the Khmer Rouge did not come to power at the time, the prison occupied by Dutch was located in such liberated areas under full Khmer Rouge rule. Tens of thousands of prisoners are being held in both prisons. It was then that Dutch began experimenting with how to torture and interrogate prisoners. While fighting in the forest, Dutch married Kim Supal, also known as Rom, who lived in a village near where Dutch worked. Yeah. Thank you. That is my point, and move to the next speaker.
Thank you, Ms. Davi. So let Mr. Sarat please present this slide. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Teacher Jana. Before I'm going to present my point, I would like to respect the teacher again and good afternoon, everyone. Okay, my point is under democratic Cambodia. After the Khmer Rouge came to power on April the 17th, 1975, Dutch was appointed director of S21 Security, or in Khmer called Somapay Mui, also known as Gok Tul Slang in Phnom Penh. According to document at Tul Slang prison, which is currently kept by the Dutch top Cambodian Documentation Center, Son Sen Alice Q, a former Dutch teacher at the Institute Pedagogy, and Noon Jie Alice Bong Noon, Deputy Secretary of the Communist Party of Cambodia. These documents include Dutch's signature on the transcript and Dutch's note instructing his subordinates to do so. Tortures and killing of prisoners. Between 1978 and early 1979, the Khmer Rouge intensified its internal operations. During that time, a large number of Khmer Rouge cadres were arrested and sent to the for torture and interrogation at Tul Slang prison. Dutch has compiled a number of documents on prisoners' biographies and confessions. It is the documents that have become important evident in Khmer Tribunal's investigation. Okay, next slide. Okay, next slide. Okay, after the fall of Khmer fighting, on the morning of January the 7th, 1979, Turks were among the last Khmer countries to flee Phnom Penh. Turks arrived in Thailand in May 1979. During that time, there was a little clear information about Turks' life. In some documents, such as Nick Dunlop's book, The Lost Executioner, Turk wrote that he had visited his family. He was in the forest in some low district. Turk was survived by his second brother, Nunjir, on the grounds that he had not destroyed all the documents at Jerusalem before fleeing Phnom Penh. Turk later became an English and math teacher at a school in refugee camp in Thailand. In 1986, Turk was sent by the Khmer leaders to work as a Khmer language teacher at the Beijing Institute of Foreign Languages, China. A year later, Turk returned to Thailand and changed his name to Hong Pen. Turk went to work at Pol Pot's office in Camp 505. Okay, next slide. After the Paris Peace Agreement of October the 23rd, 1991, Turk brought his family to live in Kam Village, Swai Jai District, Ban Damien Day Province. Turk returned to teaching. In 1995, after Rom, his wife, died in the war, Turk asked to return to teach at Swai Jai Secondary School. It was then that Turk committed himself to Jesus and was baptized. Turk then became an assistant pastor at Golden Western Cambodian Christian Church. In 1997, after a split among the Khmer leadership, Turk fled Swai to the country, Thailand. Turk worked for a health charity in the Bama Mueang camp. It was not until 1998 that Turk returned to Cambodia, but for fear of being identified as a former Duslang prisoner chief, Turk could not be reached. Returned to Swai Jai district. Turk went to work for a Christian organization called World Vision in Battambang province, Ratanamandal district. Okay, my point is finished.